Hello. First, I would like to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for this wonderful opportunity to join this esteemed conference and for the acceptance of our paper. Today, I'm absolutely delighted to have the honor of introducing our paper titled Every Deep Learning Perspective on Stock Market Liquidity Prediction in the MENA region. Our journey leading to the creation of this paper has been a collective effort involving countless hours of research, analysis, and a shared passion for our subject matter. So let's dive into the heart of our paper, and I hope our work contributes to the collective wisdom of our field. Before starting, I will be providing a glimpse of our work by outlining the key components of our presentation. In the introduction section, we will begin by providing an understanding of the significance of our topic, setting the stage for the rest of our presentation. Moving on to the second section, we will delve into our research objectives and the methodology we employ to achieve our goals. This is where we'll discuss the implementation of the hybrid deep learning model in our analysis. Third is results. The heart of our presentation lies in this section. We will present the finding of our research, showcasing the performance of our proposed solution. Finally, as we approach the conclusion of our presentation, we will summarize the key findings, emphasizing their implications and potential real-world application. But first and foremost, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the invaluable contribution of my co-authors, Professor Said Achchab and Professor Younes Lahrichi. Their dedication and expertise have enriched every aspect of our work. Coming back to our subject, I will give an overview of the topic and its significance. So, I will present the background of our paper by breaking down the key terms in our title, starting from hybrid deep learning models. Combine classical methods with neural networks, leveraging unique algorithmic strands. They excel in handling structured and unstructured data, offering solutions for complex real-world problems across various fields like finance. Moving to liquidity prediction. So, prediction is how easily assets can be bought or sold in the market without affecting their prices. Accurate liquidity predictions help investors manage risks and optimize trading strategies. These predictions use financial data and advanced algorithms for informed decision making. The MENA region, the Middle East and North Africa, offers untapped potential and unique challenges. Its growing financial markets present a promising foundation for innovation and economic growth. So the question is, can hybrid deep learning models effectively predict liquidity in the mineral stock markets? The response of our question starts from methodology, which provides an overview of how we conducted our data analysis and implemented our model. In our plan, we initially dedicate the first three steps to data extraction, analysis, and classification. Following that, our focus shifts to developing and training the model, ensuring to allocate sufficient time for adjusting specific parameters tailored to each dataset we have gathered. This plan is clearly reflected in the result graphs we have obtained. In the data collection phase, we classified countries in the MENA region based on the complexity of data extraction, available volume, and clarity of data sources. As a result, we selected three countries: Morocco, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. We extracted daily movements from various companies across different sectors between January 2020 to October 2023. The table displays the total number of transaction lines accumulated per country, while the EMA showcases the final format of the resulting data. Now we are ready to proceed working on our model. Starting from CNN, conventional neural network, the first component of our hybrid model. Contrary to their traditional use in image processing, CNNs can also be adapted to interpret temporal sequences, leveraging their ability to capture spatial and temporal dependencies. In the schema, each input xt represents a data bound over time, The CNN layer here extracts relevant features from segments of the time series by identifying repeating patterns or significant trends over time. The polling process maintains its crucial role in reducing dimensionality not only to mitigate overfitting but also to highlight the most salient features of time series. This step is essential for distilling information across broader time intervals and providing useful abstraction of the data. The fully connected layers that follow synthesize these features to a more comprehensive understanding of the time series, enabling the network to predict future trends, detect anomalies, or even classify segments of the series based on different criteria. The output YT then represents the network decision or prediction based on temporal analysis. The second component of our model is BLSTEM. The BLSTEM model is an advanced architecture that extends upon traditional LSTM neural network. It's designed to enhance the understanding of data sequences by considering both past and future information within a temporal framework. The structure is straightforward to follow. We have two layers of LSTM moving in opposite directions. The lower layer, labeled as backward, processes data from end to start, while the upper layer, labeled forward, processes them in the usual chronological order. At each time step t, the network takes as input an element xt from the sequence. Each LSTM computes a hidden state, ht for forward and ht for backward, which are then used to obtain an information rich representation of the context surrounding each data point. In summary, the Bailey stem represents a significant advancement for sequence processing, allowing us to capture complex dependency and patterns in temporal data. So, our schema combines the CNN's ability to extract features from spatial data and the Bailey stem competence in understanding temporal sequences. The CNN layers excel in detecting local features and reducing the spatial dimensionality of the data. Following the CNN layers, the data goes through a max pooling layer to further reduce dimension and a dropout layer to prevent overfitting. Then, the extracted features are passed to a dense layer, preparing the ground for the temporal sequence to be processed. The magic happens when we reach the belly stem layers by processing data in two directions. These layers capture valuable contextual information that couldn't be captured by analyzing sequences in a single direction. Ultimately, the output dense layer interprets these refined pieces of information to produce prediction represented by Y1 to YD. After fine-tuning and optimizing the parameters of our model, let's now proceed to examine the results by looking at both the model learning curves and the residual plots to gauge our model's performance in the three chosen countries. Starting from the learning curves for Morocco, the learning on the left indicates how our model training and validation loss evolve over time. Both losses decrease sharply and then stabilize, with the validation loss staying lower than the training loss. This suggests that the model is fitting well without overfitting, which is a positive outcome. Similarly, for Egypt and Saudi Arabia, on the top right, we see the training and validation losses decrease significantly in the first few epochs before leveling off. The validation loss remains lower than the training loss, indicating that the model are performing well without overfitting. Next, let's shift our attention to the residuals plots for each country. First, let's look at Morocco. Displayed at the top of the slide, the graph represents the residuals from our model on the Moroccan dataset. As you can see, the residuals are tightly clustered around zero, which suggests that our model is accurately capturing the key patterns in the data. However, there is noticeable variability, which highlights the importance of ongoing monitoring and adjustment to our model. Next, moving to the bottom left, we have the result for Egypt. The graph compares the actual and predicted future values over time. The actual future is represented by the blue line, while the predicted future is shown in red. Initially, our model tracks the actual data closely. However, towards the right side of the graph, we see a divergence indicating that our model's predictions started to deviate from the actual values. This insight informs us that we need to revisit our model parameters for better accuracy in this region. Lastly, on the bottom right, we have the results for Saudi Arabia. Similar to Egypt, the blue line represents the actual future, while the red line is the predicted future. Here, the model aligns closely with the actual data for most of the timeline. However, we observe some spikes where the model and actual data diverge. These spikes suggest possible external factors or anomalies that our model didn't account for, which might require further investigation. In summary, this these results give us a comprehensive view of how our models are performing across different markets. While the general trends align well, it's clear that adjustments are needed, especially in Egypt and for certain periods in Saudi Arabia. Moving forward, we'll focus on refining our models to improve predictive accuracy in these regions. In conclusion, the learning curve shows that our models for all three countries are performing well without overfitting. The residual plots provide insights into areas where our model could be refined for better accuracy. Moving forward, we should focus on improving our models, especially in Egypt and Saudi Arabia, to address the discrepancies observed in the residual plots. To conclude our presentation, we will show you an overview about the application of our model to predict the future of the Moroccan market. Based on the predictive model, the bid-ask spread in Morocco shows significant variability in the coming years, with notable peaks around 2028 and 2040. Given the forecasted volatility, strategic financial planning and active market monitoring will be crucial for mitigating risks during this period. Thank you for your time. We look forward to continued exploration, collaboration, and the exchange of ideas. Why not? If you have any questions or would like to connect, please feel free to reach out. Once again, thank you, and we hope our presentation has been both informative and thought provoking.